everybody, thanks for watching. And send out emails to everybody about the new book. So in case you didn't get it, make sure you guys check your spam, check your email. But the new book will be releasing on the 18th. We are accepting 500 pre-orders now, and a lot of people have filled those spots. So once we get to 500, you'll have to wait to the 18th to get it. But 500 pre-orders will be the only copies that'll be signed. So if you want to get a signed copy, definitely get one of the pre-orders. Also, the Self-Inflicted Religious Deception, the hard copy, will also be re-releasing on the 18th as well to come with that same shipment. But we're only doing 300 of those books as well. So if you want a signed copy of this book, make sure you guys go ahead and grab it now while it's available, because it sells out fast. But just to get you guys updated with the app is, ready to go. It's processing with Apple, and we were able to get through the problems with them. So it should be releasing in the iOS store. I'll let you guys know when it does. And yeah, so the site will once again change a little bit to adjust for the app. And it is the Pro app, Merkabah Academy Pro. So it will be available on Android, probably in the Google Play Store first, and then on the app in the App Store for your iPhone or iOS devices. But better process with this whole thing. But it's going to make things a lot more easier. And a lot of people are not getting, the alerts from YouTube, or you guys don't know when new stuff comes out. This way, with push notifications, you'll get alerts for everything that's coming up, what have you. So it's definitely a good thing. And it's going to be integrated with the site in a unique way. As you can see, if some of you guys might have noticed, Merkabah Academy has that feature with push notifications if somebody friend requests you, and the same type of stuff you get with like Facebook. So you guys should be familiar with it. But yeah, make sure you guys, if you haven't subscribed or registered for Merkabah Academy, make sure you do so. As I said, it's free for you to register. And make sure you guys are on there, because, it's getting crazy. They're banning shit left and right. I got banned for 3 days on Facebook for basically talking about rat meat. It's a joke. Like, you had to fucking be in the conversation, understand there was nothing crazy. But apparently, if you say rat and nigga in the same sentence, or my nig, it's a problem. So yeah, hopefully the algorithm ain't tripping on this YouTube video for saying it. But stuff like this is one of the reasons why we got to have our own, social platform and, do our own thing. And this is, as I said, the reason for Merkabah Academy, because eventually, there's already a lot of people on there, and we'll gain a lot more traction amongst conscious people, so we can have a place to really express our opinion. And Christians on there, Muslims on there, there's a lot of people come. So definitely make sure you guys register. So get into this video, basically talking about what this book is about and the information that is important, and especially at this point with critical race theory, for people to understand like the economics of a lot of stuff that happened with us and how deep it goes. Like, you can see the system and how it's clearly in place the way I broke it down in this book. So, the reverse psychology of Black economic wealth is the name of the book, the title. And it really gets into, how much we really generated for this country, during slavery and after slavery, and how basically this system is still the same system, slavery. And it's so much that was done and laws that was put in place. And we get into the laws and get into the things that happened that was really put in place to hinder us. And then as you understand, like, those things that's put in place, those laws, you can kind of see the loopholes and ways around certain things, because I always say they have to really put on this front as if they're doing something for us, as if everything is okay, really. And, we don't have this block in front of us, but you can really look at, legal precedents and things that was set in place to legally hinder Black people from, acquiring properties, from going to schools. It was just so crazy. I talked about in the book with Medgar Evers, and Medgar Evers basically working with the NAACP, and it was basically doing this whole investigation on colleges that wasn't allowing, Black students. So it's a lot that hindered us, a lot that was going on behind the scenes, and it's a lot that really paved the way for them to be where they are and us where we are. So when they started to see the economic growth of Black people, even way back in the 20s with like Black Wall Street, you understand like why they had to, destroy Black Wall Street. It wasn't a matter of, the argument that supposedly took place, or jealous whites. That was part of it. That was more motivation for them. But it was something they could not allow to happen when you understand economics in the position that they wanted to be in, because we were in a position where we were really more united than white folks. And then we still had white people looking at us and saying, well, these people are doing what they're supposed to do, so I don't really have no problem. But we stayed to ourselves and we grew, with business, and we had, we was united with a common enemy. But, with integration and desegregation and what have you, there was industries that was created. There was jobs, positions created, whole entire fields and, professions that was created when, Black people was allowed to integrate and come into schools and start working in the workplace. And there's a lot of stuff that we don't think about that you would have to need as a people if you're going to bring in another people into your society. And I kind of broke this down in the previous video about really understand how that works. I talked about this in personal economics, about how any society is going to need an outside group of people to come in and patronize them, to bring outside money, or else that society can't grow. So if you have, $10 million in that society, like all the wealth within that community is 10 million. How are you going to grow unless somebody comes from the outside and bring money into that 10 million to allow you to grow? So if you think about a country or a community or a state, what have you, and having a certain amount of money, that, remember, it was segregation. It's only them. Of course, international trade wasn't as big as it is now, but it was there. So you had that money. But it was so much more possibilities, within the country to grow wealth here. And we know, slavery was a big deal, and, tobacco, sugar, cotton, huge industry with cotton. And, they grew wealth in the South with that. But then it was like, okay, slavery ended and something new had to take place. But if you have a community where you bring in, $10 million, and then now you within your own country or state or city can have somebody from the outside patronize your community to grow it. This is exactly what happened with desegregation. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people wasn't for it, because now we took economic growth from the Black community and brought it into their communities where we couldn't live. We couldn't buy property there. And we basically made their communities flourish, and we made them millionaires and billionaires because, we just switched one form of labor, to another. So 10 million, we're taking, the millions from our community and bringing it into theirs. We're taking our buying power, our spending power, and bringing it into theirs. And then we're leaving to go back to a community where that wealth is not going to, follow us. It's going to stay in theirs and allow them to grow. So when you desegregate, so we can come and, shop in these stores. I talked about the video, selling to the Negro, that whole thing where they basically telling white folks, hey, you can sell to Black people. This was a big boost to the economy, bringing this outside money that was circulating at this time within the Black community itself. And we was doing our own things with it. They wasn't touching that money as far as, huge chunks to where, like it is now, to where we basically damn near 90% of our money is going to them. I mean, you might as well say all of it is going to them when you really think about it. But, it's a system. And then you think about the system, you understand how it goes. And even still, is one of the reasons why it's really important to have, community, structure, businesses, banking, have an insurance company. You need that. And just having that within a community, within a people, because they have it, we don't. So even if we was to go and build all that, and let's say we redo a Black Wall Street, we still have to go through them. We have to go through them for licensing. Basically for all permission. We still got to pay them taxes. We still have to pay on certain things. And even if we go and buy the property or what have you, that's us still giving them money. And at the same time, we could still grow this way. It's not a bad thing. We just would have to grow. We would have to have the support to make it grow. So you think about all this, and then you think about, with Black Wall Street being burned to the ground and all the hindrances that we have experienced, trying to progress as a people. And you can understand, as I said, you can see why they had to do this to keep us where we at, because Black Wall Street was basically showing you that we had the ability to, surpass them. Because here you had whole community, rich Black folks on the outskirts, poor white folks, people returning from the war. They was poor. They was living in poverty. We was doing way better than them. And it was obviously we had that spirit, that we could grow, and who knows what would have taken place, out of Black Wall Street, other communities we could have branched out and went into and did the same thing. And it was clear that the progression of Black Wall Street would happen. And, and soon enough, we would be in a huge economic position as a people, especially with them being so racist and not allowing us, to do anything. But you still had people come and patronize, in that community in Tulsa. So new things had to happen. So when you think about that, and then you think about, all these zoning laws, you got to go through property management companies, and you got to go through get construction permits and all this stuff. Now, every little teeny thing to just make sure we know who's doing what, that's crazy. They control that. So you can't just go and build a whole community. Oh, you have to go down to City Hall and you got to pull permits to get permits. That's not permitted. You can't build this structure here. I mean, it's the stupidest shit ever, but you got to really think about it. This is done to really control who builds what and to know who's doing what, or else we could just go out and build whatever, unless you got the money to buy a whole community, a big, large, plot of land to build on. And you're still going to have to pay property taxes. Even if you own a property, you got to pay taxes on it. So, it's crazy. So it's a lot of stuff, you got to really think about. And, you can see why certain traps is set there. I posted a video on my Instagram about, it's a guy, he's basically talking about TikTok, and he's saying how the algorithm is different, in China for TikTok, and how on TikTok it's rewards. Like they reward the kids for doing TikToks about, engineering or something that has to do with science, something that benefits the economy. And they get rewards on their TikTok over there. Whereas here in America, you get promotion and rewards, for twerking and for doing stuff that absolutely does not benefit the economy in a way. And it's basically, when you think about it, it's the same type of situation that we're in now. They had to change everything to where we're in a situation where what we deal with the most, like what we look to the most, is not benefiting us as a people. And I always go to the hip hop culture because that's what we're living off and how everything is based on. So you can see with the Super Bowl and halftime performance, and, everybody just went crazy over halftime show. It's a big deal. Everybody, it's all culture and just embracing hip hop and not understanding what it is. And as I always say, it's a Trojan horse. It's destroying us. And you look at how we live and everything that's conducive to that culture, it's not benefiting us as a community or a people, and it's destroying us economically, because now we as a people, they're showing us that this is the only way you can progress. Like he was saying in the video, like showing you TikTok, let's show them the stupid shit you got to do to get ahead. And let's put into the minds of the people that you want to be famous. This is the way to do it. You got to go on here and do something stupid. And you look on TikTok, you look on social media, and you see people doing all kinds of stuff, just weirdo stuff for the likes, for the attention, hoping they'll blow up or go viral, but what is that really doing? What is that really doing? It's keeping you in a place. You're in a place. That's your space. You only got but so much time in a day, and this is what you're focusing on. How is that going to benefit you? It doesn't matter for white folks. It doesn't matter for Asian folks. It doesn't matter for Hispanics. For us, it matters because we can't afford as a people to do this shit. We can't afford to do it. We need to really catch up. We need to be putting stuff on there that's going to help us out economically. And of course, people are going to say, oh, it's just fun. People just on there having fun. We don't got fucking time to have fun right now. We don't. I'm talking about as a people economically. If you are in the right place personally, and you're doing fine and what you're doing in your life is benefiting your family or benefiting the economy or what have you, that's all well and good. But when you really step back and look at the whole thing, should we really be putting this type of shit out as a people? And the real responsible answer is no. When you look at what we've been going through, it's kind of stupid. When you really think about it, we should be putting out stuff that's going to uplift us and benefit us, rather than twerking, the stupid shit we put out. So you look at the hip hop culture, and I've got videos on it and I talk about this, and it's the same type of situation. Look at what we lend our attention to more than what we should lend our attention to. And this is what they show us. This is why, black kids want to be rappers. They want to be athletes. And then you got to look at it. Who is that going to benefit? It's not going to benefit us as a people. It's not going to benefit the black community economically. That money is going to go back to them. They own the whole entire industries, entertainment, sports, it's them. So if you do it, and this is what you're dedicating your time to go and do, it's going to go back to them and benefit them. So we are, we've been tricked, and this is why I said the reverse psychology, because I talked about in the video before how, and this is on a bigger scale than this, which I get into in the book, but you got to look at it. I talked about how with NWA, when it was coming out with the music, and, you had Fuck the Police, and them just basically saying how, they're trying to stop us from being heard. And it was a trap the whole time. See Dolores Tucker, as I talked about, she understood that, this music is going to destroy us. It's not good music. And, she talked about how we had to do better, basically. But you look at how it was promoted, and it was like us against them. And it's something that we rallied around as the people, saying that this music is our music. And, it was, it was our voice, but it got changed. And it got changed so that we could change.